right, y'all. What's up? It's your girl Shani Sweets, and you are in the sweet spot. You already know it's my first interview that you guys are going to see. That's going to be on the site, on the YouTube, on all that stuff. I'll let y'all know how you can find it. But I am here with somebody that is very, very talented, very, very unique. You know what I'm saying? And I've had the honor of interviewing him before. JustAli, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. All fingers and toes moving. So always got time to make something happen on this end. So I can't complain at all.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So since the last time I seen you, it's been about 2 years, but that didn't stop you from doing anything. I know you put out a project last year. So how has your process been just continuing with your music?
So yeah, from the year to well, I guess from the time that we met until now, like it's been a crazy process. Even building the album, the whole nine, like we still had a crazy process with that. But it's been great, man. Like I can't complain at all. Definitely blessed. Like we did a lot of stuff within that year. We got a building, in New Bern. That's why I wanted to do the interview at the first time, but we got to push back. So
Right.
yeah, I wanted to do the building. I mean, we got a building in New Bern, and that's where we'll be holding a lot of things. We'll be doing podcasts there, after school programs, our shows. We're gonna have a restaurant there. So it's like a cornerstone for the project. It's like literally in the projects. So
Oh wow.
it's gonna be a cornerstone for the projects. But we in the construction process right now. So
Okay.
yeah, in between that year, that's been our focal point. It's called the Village. So that's been our focal point with that.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So first of all, I will be there, I will make it.
For sure, got to. That was your open invitation. That's what that was.
Thank you. He was like, I want to do the interview there. No, I'm with it for sure. So since then, I mean, you doing all that already in the community, how do you feel about everything that's going on right now and how important that is to put, like you said, a cornerstone for the projects, like in that type of environment?
I think it's necessary. Like it's the climate that we in now. Like I definitely think it's necessary. Like even in being that we're not able to be in the building, like we sparked other programs. So we did this program called the Black Tie Fair, and the Black Tie Fair is focused on only Black students or Black boys in school systems. So this is just going to be we're low-key navigating other ways that we can bring that stuff into the building. So, but I think it's definitely necessary. So when the time comes for the building to open up and for the world to open up,
Right.
it's going to be crazy. So it's necessary though. Like when the stuff that goes on in New Bern, that's where the building's at. Stuff that goes on around, like they literally just found a grenade in the projects. Like I don't even know how you get a grenade in the projects.
Wow.
So people getting shot on a regular basis, like that's the gang culture over there is different. So for us to put that in that space, I think it's going to be crazy. And we wanted to be like the Black Museum in DC. Like we want, when you walk into, which is why we've taken so long to open. Like we only get to do this once, so we wanted to make sure that when we do present it to the world, you know what I'm saying, I want you to walk out. I want you to walk from New Bern into the building to make you feel like you're in another place. So that's what we've been doing with that. But yeah, to answer your question, like I think it's necessary. Like the climate that we're in is it's always fluctuating, but it's still the same, if that makes sense. So I think we want to be the paradigm shift, as my pop said. We want to be the paradigm shift. So
That's what's up. That's what's up. And like, how do you feel your music and you being an artist inspired you to branch out into other endeavors such as that?
That's a good question. Ask that question again. I'm sorry.
So how do you feel like your music and you being an artist inspired you to branch out into those endeavors like you're doing with the community?
Oh yeah, like that's the beautiful thing about the music. Like when I started writing music, at first I used to cuss in music. And not saying that I don't now, it's just very rare that you're gonna hear it. But at first, when I started recording that, I couldn't let my mother hear it. You know what I'm saying? I was like 15 then, so I couldn't let my mother hear it.
Wait, I
And
had
then,
a whole thing like that. I had a whole thing like that with my mom.
you feel me? Like,
Like wrote something and showed it to her, and she like,
this you?
What
Yeah.
what you talking about? You don't even know what you talking about. Bye.
And little do she know, you know, I'm really out there living that. And
right.
but I couldn't play the music to my mother. And then when I kind of assessed, my pops did like an assessment of the music, and he was saying, if you're gonna do this, you can cuss. I'm not telling you what to do with your music, but that's always gonna put you in a lane to where you have to watch what you say when you're around people. So now when I started writing music, and I knew that's what I wanted to do, like I wanted to make music.
Right.
I started making music for everybody. And then when I started making music for everybody, it started to hit everybody. And being that's in the community, whether you gang bang, whether you sell dope, whether you the conscious dude in the community, it was hitting everybody. So being that my music was hitting everybody like that, and we really hands on, like we really be frontlining a lot of stuff. So being that our music was hitting that, and we were really out there, I think everything just started to collide together. So if I was talking about my cousin in prison, my pops really do prison reform. Like he got a program called Academy of Hope. Like he really do prison reform. If I'm talking about like a kid in the song, I got a song called God, and I'm talking about a kid named Josiah. If I'm talking about kids, I'm really teaching creative writing to kids. You get what I'm saying? So everything just started to collide. Yeah. I just started to collide with each other. That's all.
Right. So how's your creative process? Because I can tell that you put a lot of thought in your music. I've watched little clips on your Instagram. You're like live band behind you doing all types of unique things. So what is your creative process like?
Writing is different. Shows is different too, but writing is different but simple. Like I didn't notice this about myself. Like this thing called Jahari's window, and it says like I don't know if I'm saying this right or not, but it's a part in it that somebody explains. It's like what you know about yourself and then what you don't know about yourself. So it's like the blind spot. Okay. And my pops was telling me that I eat stuff one by one. I ain't know that until he said it. But when I eat food, if I got a burger, fries, and a drink, I'm gonna eat the fries, I'm gonna eat the burger, and then I'm gonna drink my drink. That's just me. Okay. So and that goes, how you do anything is how you do everything. Mm-hmm. So when I write my hook, I write the verse, I write the next verse, and I write the next verse, and the song is over. So I really don't got I get up and jog, and I put my headphones on. I don't got none of that. But I will say, if it was a conversation that we had, if it was a meaningful conversation that I feel like I have with anybody, I don't care if we just met. Yeah, if we say anything in this interview that's gonna be taken away, you're gonna hear it in the song. So a lot of people that make music, some people make music, or some people can really just rap. Right. Like some people can really just rap, but music was therapeutic for me. Like when I started writing, my mother was diagnosed with cancer. My cousin was just killed. My other cousin was just arrested. So that's when I started writing. Like and I was telling the story of that. So anytime that I make music, I'm telling stories. Right. So I don't make music just to do it. I make music because it's therapeutic for me. But I just so happen to do it in a fashion that the people gonna vibe to it, the people gonna rock with it. Right. So that's what it is when it's with writing. But when it's with shows and performing, I really just like to be in my bag. Like I just like it. I like it. So you like, but for sure. Like I don't like to be with I don't like performing with DJs, and that's no slight to DJs, but I just don't like to do it because I don't think I'm 23. I don't think people performing with live bands no more at the age of 23. Like as far as you really gonna see it is Kendrick. You're gonna see Cole do it from time to time, the Roots, but I want to be the anomaly of my age group. You feel me? So I think when you see us performing with bands, it look a little weird. Like,
I think
how's
it's
he?
cool. I think it's cool. I think it's really cool seeing, you know, live bands behind people, because it just puts in perspective what you do in your process and what's important to you. To me, it's about the music a lot
Facts.
of times, like especially with media and everything now. Finding your lane for myself is like you see where the women lie in the industry, but you don't see a lot of women with the music. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
that's a big thing that's going on, is, you know, just being exactly that, doing the unique thing, not following the trend of everybody else, going with the DJ, like actually seeing a live band behind somebody. It's like refreshing, you know what I'm saying? Because
Sure.
we like that. Like when we see old movies and we see older artists and stuff like that, we're fascinated by it. You know what I'm saying? We want to know more about it. We want to hear it. We like it. You can't ask anybody if they ever seen a live performance and they just didn't like, you know, like a really good live performance, whether it
Yeah.
was new school,
I
old
at least
school.
I can't name it. Yeah, that's a fact.
Exactly, like a live band, like it's gonna. I mean, people go to Mardi Gras and, you know, go to New Orleans just for their band marching down the street and
Sure did.
HBCUs with the band. So why not keep that going? You know, on the stage with the music. So
Facts.
I definitely commend you for doing that. Now you are a storyteller. Like, how did you? You said you started storytelling as soon as you started writing.
Yeah, and I ain't know it. Like I didn't. I thought I was just writing,
Mhm.
and I didn't really recognize that I was telling stories until I put out the album Storytime. I ain't gonna say I didn't recognize I was
I
telling
would say,
stories.
dang. I mean, because Storytime came out last year.
Yeah, I ain't gonna say I didn't recognize that I was telling stories, but it didn't click to me. That's why I named the album Storytime.
Right.
But when we came up with the concept of Storytime, I started taking all of the songs that we wrote, and I was like, I want to tell that story. I want to tell that story. I want to tell that story. So all of them, every song is a story, but that album Storytime, it put in perspective who I was, where I was from, and all of that. So yeah, I didn't notice at the time that I didn't do it on purpose. I was just the way that I was writing. That's
Right.
just how I write. Even now, like each song is a story. That's just the way that I write.
And everything that you have talked about resonates with what is going on right here in 2020 in that album. You know,
Yeah, facts.
I
Facts.
mean, I guess it just highlights that nothing has changed, or, you know, or we're still in that cycle of, you know, breaking chains and getting away from certain things and realizing certain
True
things
deal.
more as, you know, time progressed. But it's just ironic. I heard one of your songs you were talking about, you know, just being are you a father?
No.
Was that somebody else's story?
Yeah, that's my cousin. That's my
Okay.
cousin.
Okay. So
That's my
I
cousin.
figured that. I'm like, okay, you kind of can tell. Well, for me, I can tell when you're telling your own story, because
Yeah.
that story kind of lines up more than one time in the album.
Mhm.
But then you can tell when there's another story that, you know, comes in and you're like, dang,
Yeah.
they talk about somebody else. So how did you
And
start
that's what I
telling
wanted to give off. Nah, that's what I wanted to give off. Like it's my cousin part one and my cousin part two. I just did an interview like a couple of days ago. I think it was like last Wednesday, and she asked me, she was like, "Do you got kids?" And I was like, "Nah, I don't." And a lot of people, when I was selling that album, a lot of people hit me and was like, "Yo, where your kids at, man?" Like, and I'm saying, I'm talking about my cousin, and that's the way I wanted to tell the story. I wanted to say from his point of view to where you would respect it as if it was people, because I don't think it's talked about enough. Like I don't. My cousin came out of prison. He was looking for things to get into, and he ended up back in prison. He got snitched on. He ended up back in prison again. You feel me? So people don't really talk about the recidivism rate. I think I said that right. Yeah, that's the college word. I don't know if I said that right, but people don't talk about the recidivism rate of people coming in and out of prison. Like they don't talk about that at all. So that's what I wanted to talk about. And when I was telling my cousin part one and two.
I think a lot of times in our community, when you say, you know, people going in and out of prison, people just, our community, it's crazy because we're hard on ourselves. We make excuses and or just want to say negative things. But a lot of people go, oh yeah, he must like going to jail. You know what I'm saying? Or he
Yeah,
must like, you know, he must like being in prison. Like it's something in there that he like, but we don't realize that it's multiple reasons why that can happen. You know, like you said, trying to make it. Once you have the systems already prepared for us, like once you get out and you're trying to do something for yourself, it doesn't really it's not easy. It's not easy to get back.
Yeah.
It's not easy to find somebody that's going to be like, all right, I got this job for you and I believe in you. But then as well, being black, being in this, state of what everything is right now, it's hard to kind of believe in yourself at first. You know what I'm saying?
For
Sometimes
sure.
you got to believe in yourself, but it takes somebody to point certain things out in you for you to believe that, like how your dad did for you with, how you eat and then how you do your
For
verses
sure.
and stuff like that. So he pointed some things out to you. So people don't realize, like, you can be institutionalized. When you go into certain places, you might not have the certain faith or, believe in yourself enough to pursue certain things. And that's really important. And I heard you say that you have faith and stuff like that. Do you have you speak very highly in your music? Is it a certain connection that you have or something that you decided to change about yourself when it comes to being, having more faith?
Hey, you asked some good questions, man. That's great. Yeah, I'm not gonna say it was anything that I had to change. Like I tell people all the time, I'm Christian, but I don't have a Christian's faith.
Right.
Oh, I'm not. Yeah, I don't have a Christian's faith. Like a lot of people ask me if I'm Muslim. I'm not Muslim. A lot of people think that we like 5%ers or like Nation of Islam or something that we're not. But and there's nothing wrong. I genuinely respect all of them. Like I hold the Nation of Islam. I hold the fruits of Islam. I hold them with the same regard as I do any church around it.
Right.
But my faith is, I say the God above is the God within. Like when I made that God song,
Right.
I think that was
I'm glad you brought this song up. I want to talk about
like that was a complex thing. Like my mother, when I did the God song, they came from 3 places. My mother, my brother Lil, and my pops. When I mention my pops, most of 9 times out of 10, and there's no smite to my real father, I'm talking about life. He was there when you met me the first time.
Yeah.
So that's what I call my pops. But yeah, that came from life, my mother, and Lil. And that was I asked life, I said, if it say in the Bible, you know what I'm saying, why can't we call ourselves gods? And I looked at, he was like, if you got a question, look it up. So he looked it up and it said it like clear as day in the Bible that we are all God's children of the Most High, but it wasn't a capital G, it was a lowercase G. So that's the same respect and regard I hold myself in. Like if it's anything that I want to go get, we creators.
Right.
We are creators. We created by the man that create. So
we have that
why
peace.
can I create?
Everybody has that peace of God in them. So why
True
not
indeed.
realize it? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, if I was made in his image, why am I not act like it? Feel me? So that's where that came from. And the God above is the God within. Like that's what we really move by.
Right. And people get offended when you call
Yeah.
yourself God or I am God or I'm godly or whatever. They feel like you're putting yourself on a pedestal that they're not.
And that's the issue.
Too, that they can't get on as well because they don't see it with themselves. So they really be like, you're not God, you can't do this, you can't do that. But in actuality, you can do anything that you put your mind to. Like literally anything. I don't know if you're big on like manifestation and just
sure.
affirmations, just leaving it at that simple thing, just saying what you are every day. I feel Yo Gotti, he's like the hood affirmation himself. Like I mean, like if you really think of it, I am, and I tell everybody that. Like this man tell you exactly what he gonna do, what he not gonna do, and every it happens. Like he told y'all, like I'm not fooling with no labels. I'm gonna do my own thing before anybody really start going independent. And Yo Gotti is probably one of the most seasoned rappers and one of the most independent rappers that is going to drop something and it's automatically getting played. No ifs, ands, buts about it. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like he is definitely the king of, saying what you want to say, saying what you are. That's
Sure
very
did.
that's very important. With your story, with your album Story Time, did you take a tour last year? I mean, last year we were free. So did you do like any performing? Any type
Nah,
of
man,
performance?
nah. We I did like minor shows. So a lot of the times schools are kind of like our bread and butter. So we performed in schools a lot. But I didn't really do shows. I was focusing on selling the album.
Okay.
So and that was another thing that I kind of put against myself when I put it out because if we ever did a show, we created the show.
Right.
So we didn't go to look for venues and none of that. Like we wanted to create the show. So
Mhm.
we did a show in like now the album wasn't even out. That's crazy. But we did a show like the that was the month I graduated. That was May, and that was probably the only show we did that year. And then we like focused on the album coming out. So
Okay.
yeah, I didn't really focus. This year was crazy. Is this year was more so the year for shows. Like I did a lot of stuff last year. We
Mhm.
were like flying to Cali like dang near quarterly. Like we were flying to Cali a lot.
Okay.
So when I went to Cali, I was still performing out there, but it was in schools. So it wasn't like an actual an event performance. This was like stuff that we were teaching, and it just so happened to line up with what we were teaching. So I would perform out there. So yeah, schools was like our bread and butter, but this year, what you see virtually is what we wanted to do last year, and it just so happened to work.
Right.
So what we doing now is crazy. Like I love it. I
Right.
love doing the virtual shows and the whole nine. But
Yeah,
what we got coming up next is crazy.
I would say so. Since you had the time to not, not performing, you really had the time in the house, in the studio, get real creative. Now you have another project coming up.
Yeah,
Can you talk a little bit about it? It's coming up soon.
yeah. We looking at January. We're looking at January.
Okay. Is it
Yeah, that's it's an EP. It's something short, but it's 5 songs. But if I would take, and I love that album. I love that last album. I
okay
would take these 5 songs and I would go against any of that. I would go against those 11 songs on that
on
album.
the album?
Uh, yeah, with these 5 songs.
So you telling me I'm gonna have you on repeat? That's what you telling me. I'm gonna have you on.
That's it. If you don't, I'll give you your money back.
I'm gonna have a whole 21 song set.
If you don't like it, I'll give you your money back. That's
Okay.
what I tell everybody.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to these 5 songs, man. Like what we did
Alright.
with these. Say that again.
When did you start recording the EP? When did you decide like, all right,
Uh,
I'm gonna just hop in the studio?
one of the songs one of the songs I did last December,
Okay.
and the other four we did probably we did it last month. The other four we did it last month. Like we recorded it. Was our recording process a little different too, but we did those four songs.
How's your recording process? Give us the tea. What's the secret? What's your recording process?
It's not a secret. Like we believe in you practice how you play.
Okay.
When I was starting out, like my pops ain't. We had like an artist development camp at his
Oh,
crib. Like
okay. Okay.
he let me play about stuff like that. So he would make me give $1 every time I came to his house to record.
Mm,
So every time I came to his house to record, sometimes we didn't even record. We was just watch movies. We would just chill and watch movies. But it
right.
was the creative process. And then we started to record, and you couldn't listen, you couldn't hear the AC. If you would record it and the AC was on, you could hear the AC in the back. So he
Okay.
would have to cut the AC off in August. And now you just sitting there in the studio.
Now you hot.
Yeah, and I'm like, yo, can I get some water? Yo, you ain't work for no water. I was like, okay, this not just the military.
What about the boys? Like,
He
don't
didn't
you?
care about that. He didn't care about that. He was trying to prove a point.
Right.
And the first session that we paid for, we probably paid like $20 an hour. And he paid for 1 hour. We paid for 1 hour. I think I got like 6 songs done in that 1 hour. So that means I was running through each song one time. But that came from practicing how I was playing. So what I mean, if I came there, I already knew what I was going to get done. I already knew the hooks. I knew everything. I knew what I was going to get done. So
I mean, how much money do people who really the normal studio sessions that you typically see? How much money do they
that's
weigh?
what I was about to get to. That's what I was about to get to.
They gotta, you gotta get your remedies together. You gotta chat. You gotta talk. You gotta.
Yeah, that's what I was about to get to.
Drinking or not, you know, people do.
You gotta take account for all of that. All of that. So the dude that we record with now, that's our guy, JJ Manifest. He is super solid dude.
I've heard his name before. I've definitely.
Yeah, super solid dude. And Jay charges $60 an hour. Mm-hmm. And if it's $60 an hour, we'll pay for 2 hours, and we might not even stay the full 2 hours. When I did those 4 songs, only reason we took the full 2 hours was because Life had to do his poem. I was done at probably like an hour and 30 minutes with 4 songs. Damn. So we've seen people come in there and they got to drink to get their mind right. You know what I'm saying? They got to smoke to get their mind right. And that's just to write a hook and the dip. You feel me? So we coming in there to work. Like if we know we coming in there to work, we're not trying to waste no money. And that's
let them know how to do it. Okay. I hope they listen real good to this interview because you don't need to be wasting no money just to do what you already could do at the house. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
That's like going to college and staying in your dorm the whole time, or you know,
you could have did that at home.
Like not doing your home, only trying to do one assignment, you know, a week. Like what? You're not going to graduate doing that. You're not going to go to the next level. So going into the studio, getting it done, having time to spare. First of all, the engineer is gonna be with it because he gonna get a life. You know, engineers be in the studio.
Yeah. Jay used to say we practice underwater. Like that's what he used to say. We practice underwater. But,
y'all some sharks, y'all.
For sure. But nah, it's that whole process for the EP, like the songs, the process for the songs is crazy. Like each song is a different sound. Like from 1 to 5, they probably sonically they go together, but none of them sound the same.
Right.
Like you probably gonna question if it's my voice. Like none of them sound the same at all. So then that's what I want. But yeah, it's crazy.
Have you ever recorded with a live band in the studio yet?
No, that's what I wanted to do. That's why we're doing these EPs.
Okay.
So these EPs are going to be a volume of they're going to be a volume of EPs. So volume 1 is called Something to Hold You Over. Volume 1, the Bumblebee Effect. You probably see a bee on my jacket. I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah.
But it's called the Bumblebee Effect. So that's volume 1. And then I'm going to do 2 more. I don't know if I'm going to do them by the end of the year, or I know I'll do the second one by the end of or the middle of the next year for sure.
Right.
But yeah, we're going to do a volume of those. But I want by that time to actually work on this next full project. But I don't want to go to no YouTube beats. The next project, I don't want to do no YouTube beats. I want to actually create with a live band. That's what I want to do.
All right. Well, I met a drummer last night.
Say less. Hey, tell your people to call my people. That's what I mean.
Look, and that's what it's all about, honestly. I mean, I know he's a drummer. What I'm gonna do, I'm not trying to get into the studio right now. I might do something in the future. I don't know. I keep saying
I'm gonna keep my ears open for that too.
I keep saying that, but no, I did. I went to the Versus last night here in Raleigh. They did an actual first annual Versus battle. It was
crazy.
Yeah, it was about 4 lineups. I want to say it was supposed to be more, but because of certain precautions and all that stuff like that, things had changed around. But that's where I met him was at the Versus battle. But it was really, really fire. Like I definitely he had the ladies against each other. You had BWA against Monty Michi.
That's tough.
Had Skizzy P against Fat Sosa. So it was.
You said Skinny P?
Skizzy
P. Why I heard that name before?
Oh, yeah, you definitely heard his name before. You definitely probably.
I've heard that name before. Yeah. I know Fat Sosa is for sure though.
Yeah. So they did their thing. You had A-Cash and I think his name was King Belly. Yep, King Belly. He was from another. He wasn't from Raleigh. He was from a country town because he was country.
For sure, for sure.
Yeah, he was country, but it was a really great like event and something that I could see happening. It was on a Sunday, so like maybe 2 Sundays a month or something like
Yeah.
that. It was definitely something I can see you going in this
Hey,
song.
nah, man. I'm with all of that.
Yeah.
We building the catalog now, so I'm with all of that, man. I definitely love stuff like that.
Okay. So one question that I do have to ask because I'm really interested because I know who I feel like you sound like and who you know have a similar tone to, and I'm pretty sure you get this. I think I heard it in your music, but Cole and Kendrick, right?
Yeah.
But that's not the question. I mean, I feel like that's an obvious question. I feel like that's something that you get all the time. People say, but if you had to choose somebody to perform with and collab with right now, who would it be?
The Roots.
The Roots?
Yeah, hands down. Like the Roots and Bilal. Like if Bilal could be a part of the Roots when I was performing with him, I would. Yeah,
like a whole three partner, like a three setup, like three partner setup.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would say what made you
The Roots got one of my favorite albums of all time, Philadelphia Half-Life. And I didn't know, but when I listened to it, I didn't know that they was creating their own stuff. Mm-hmm. And then I saw like the first Roots, or I heard the first Roots performance when they did the joint with Jill Scott and that You Got Me song. Uh-huh. I heard that joint. I heard them do it live, and even like they call and response when they performing is they be like, what's that joint, man? I got that hot music, like that joint. They call and response when they performing it. It's crazy. Like the crowd interaction, the whole nine, like that joint is crazy.
And that's what it's about, interacting, telling your crowd to say stuff, let them say back. You know what I'm saying?
The Roots, they got that joint on lock, bro. Like I haven't seen, or I ain't never been to no concert before. The only concert I probably ever been to was I was backstage at a Lupe Fiasco joint.
You're in Raleigh. Like Raleigh be having a concert. I mean, even though they be outside, I like outside concerts way better. Yeah. But you have to, let me tell you, you have to go to a concert when it comes in Raleigh. Because first of all, the tickets don't be that expensive. Like if you just want to go and experience it and not like, oh, I'm not trying to pay $300-$400 to go see nobody. Like, no, you can literally pay a $25 ticket and get the same exact experience that the person has up there for the outside concerts. Inside concerts, you know, I want to be up close. But for the outside concerts, like, just think of like I went to the I was working at the Dreamville concert. Mm-hmm. That was insane. I mean, first of all, that was a festival, so it was insane. It had 2 different sets, 2 different stages, and all that stuff. But I was bartending, and I was literally right next to the stage. So I was bartending. I would look, and I can see, what was going on. We'd take breaks and stuff like that. But it was an amazing experience. Like most of the concerts that I've went to and had a really good experience have been in Raleigh. Mary J. Blige and Nas, Megan Thee Stallion.
I heard that joint was crazy. Man, I heard the Mary J. and Nas joint was like that.
That joint was like that. I didn't even know I knew all her songs. Like,
hey, it be like that.
No, I knew. My cousin looked at me and was like, "No," I'm like, "Yo, I do this for a reason. Like, it's embedded in me for a reason. It's just pulling out, remembering where you came from." And Mary was played in my household, like.
Got to with the Fabuloso on the stove.
What you talking about? With them open, with the Mr. Clean on the, you gotta get the Mr. Clean and the Fabuloso. We don't know which one we going which one we gonna use, okay? But it's gonna be the house gonna be Mary J gonna do her thing for sure. So okay, the Roots, I'm with that, but you gotta go to a Roots concert.
Yeah, I only seen them perform on like YouTube and stuff, but I know from what I seen with that, the Roots is definitely. I'm making that happen. I don't care. That's what I want to see happen. Okay. But the Roots is definitely it.
All right. So, what's one more thing that you want the people to know about you and what you got going on and coming up next?
I know we talked about the EP, but the EP is definitely on the way. We got a virtual concert. I think we got to do that on the 17th, but we're doing it in Atlanta this time. So we got a virtual concert coming out. So we're gonna do that. probably by the end of this month, and then it's gonna be the EP coming in January. Okay. So yeah, the EP is definitely what I want people to look out for. I'm trying to change the game with that one. So
yes. So you guys make sure y'all, first of all, on all streaming platforms, JustAli. You spell it just like that. JustAli. I'm talking about he's on title. No spaces. No, not in Instagram, not in the title, like like, all right. So you're gonna see him or find him on Apple Music, Spotify, Tidal, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, JustAli. Y'all, you already know what it is. It's your girl Shani Sweets. I'm only gonna bring the best people, the hottest people into the sweet spot because it's all about the good vibes, positive vibes. Let me say that out loud. Let me put them people in the back, okay? Positive vibes only because I love your vibe for sure. You always have a solid vibe. It's such a, I mean, you're a grown man, but at the same time, at a young age, you definitely have a lot of, more potential. You have a lot of positive energy about yourself and a lot of, encouraging words and messages through your music. So thank you for being a part of, thank you. I appreciate it.
And I do what I can do when I can do it.
Okay. And y'all look out for them. We're gonna definitely, I'm ready to see you perform with a live band in person. I'm gonna definitely check out the virtual concert.
Oh no, if we do it in the building, you definitely gotta come through. We working on that as well. I know we're gonna have like a limited capacity, but my man is a chef, so he'll be cooking. Like we're gonna make it an actual experience.
I like to eat now. Come on.
That's what we're here for.
But I don't eat meat. I'm gonna have to test them out. I don't eat meat. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, he super nice.
So when you say chef, they could cook anything.
Yeah, he's super nice. I promise you. So, but yeah, when we do that at the building, we'll definitely send that invitation out.
Okay, thank you. And I do want to tell you, I am doing a coat drive right now, so it's going to be going on all the way until the 19th. So if you can donate, any type of coat, jacket, hoodie.
Where we drop it off at?
So I'm gonna give you my Instagram. So you can it's Sweets Media _ is my Instagram. It has a flyer, okay. But you can drop it off at Triangle Mall. Are you in Raleigh? No,
I'm in Jacksonville. I'm like 2 hours away from Raleigh.
Dang. Okay, so this is what you can do. You can actually donate virtually as well for reasons like that. And all proceeds are going to the Roberts Community Center that's here in Raleigh. So the Cash App is, the little money sign, Sweet Spot Media.
That's DM me that.
Yeah, I'll send you all that. We're only asking for $1, but whatever your heart desires, whatever you want to give back, definitely will be appreciated because it's cold out here.
It's true indeed. Don't let this flight jacket fool you. I'm freezing.
Okay. All right. But thank you again for tapping in with me. This is going to be a great journey. I wish you nothing but the best coming up this year, especially with I feel like we're going to get a 21 set tour coming in 2021 for the story time and the EP. What's the name of the EP?
Something to Hold You Over, The Bumblebee Effect, Volume 1.
Okay. Something to Hold You Over, The Bumblebee Effect, Volume 1. Okay, so all right, so that's like 21 songs right there. So we gonna be. I'm plotting. I'm like, all right, because I need it on rotation. I've been listening to your music like ever since I was like setting this up. I'm like, okay, cool. I like to listen and know who I'm talking to. So yeah, I'm ready. We ready.
I appreciate it.
All right, but you have a great night. Stay warm, stay safe, all that good stuff.
Yes, ma'am.
We'll definitely talk soon.
Sure indeed. Peace.
Bye.